Top of the morning, YouTube. Mikey here from town. Long time since I've had a video. I think it was the 20th, around the 20th of October. I was off in Russia for about 4 weeks, not quite 4, 3.5 weeks. Somebody else has to join me. It's Roma. Hello, Roma. Kiss, kiss. Da, 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 da. He missed me too. So I was most of November away. Got back in time to Tallinn just to go travel to the UK for the Knights of the Briar meeting in Chester. Came back to Tallinn after, it was the Tuesday morning, very early in the morning, to find out that I had to go the next day back to Russia. Which I was there most of last week, back in this week. So really, this has been my first time really available to do. There's feathers everywhere. To do a video. Not much to say about Russia. There's the usual difficulties in Russia. The weather's been pretty mild, so that's made life very difficult in the harvesting side of the forestry. The roads are mostly closed. The machinery could go across it, but it just churns up the whole roads, and they don't like that, so they keep them closed. So it's a late start of the season. Back here in town, it is unusually mild here as well. We had snow for the last 2 days, but woke up this morning to see most of the snow has gone again, sitting at plus 5, 6 degrees during the daytime. It's very, very, very mild for this time of year. We usually have layers of snow now, which we wouldn't expect to melt until probably well into March. So that's really about Tallinn. Russia, not really much to talk about. As I said, this is my first, actually it's not my first video. I actually had done a video, this is where we should start off, I think. I had done a video for Giles Cassidy, who'd kindly sent me some Bladder and Bladder Balkan Reserve, or Reserve Balkan, maybe it's called. Which I received the day before I was going to Russia. I had 2 bowls of it, and I'd done a video on it, but it was taking so long to download that actually I had to leave and go to Russia. I thought I'd download it in St. Petersburg, and as usual, got to St. Petersburg, everything was late, got straight onto a train and head off towards the Urals, and never the internet to be seen until I got back. Yeah, internet for emails, but nothing for downloading videos. Actually, I'm quite glad because I didn't download it, because I actually didn't score the Bladder and Bladder very highly. I had 2 bowls. I was getting it quite sweet. Again, nothing wrong with the tobacco. I'm just reviewing this on my taste. The tobacco was fine. It was well cut, dried, perfection. It wasn't too wet, it wasn't too dry. Nice smell of Orientals from the bag. See the Latakia, nice cut. Everything was fine. So I'm reviewing this purely on my taste side. I think that my original feeling was there was too much Cavendish in it, and I think the Cavendish was blocking the Orientals by being too sweet in my tongue. That would have been my judgment on the first. I think it was 2 bowls I had. And first time trying it. I took the bag with me to Russia, and thought, well, I'll give it a try when I'm there. And lo and behold, sure enough, I smoked that bag straight through during that week. I found it very much a go-to bag, first thing in the morning, last thing at night, out in the forest. Loved it. I think it must have been just the first sensation of the sweetness. Or maybe the bag, I just got too much Cavendish in the first 2 bowls, it was sitting in the top, I don't know. But I really, really enjoyed the Bladder and Bladder Giles, thank you. I found it perfect Balkan blend, well balanced actually with the sweetness, and that means it wasn't too sweet if I didn't like it, or I thought it was okay. So yeah, wonderful. So much so that I think myself and Giles are doing a little trade for something else. I think Giles wants a bent Falcons Den, which we should get this week. Giants, if you're watching, please be with me. The guy who does the Falcons here is due back today. I haven't contacted him, but hopefully, please God, I'll get it this week. If not, it'll be early next week and get it off to you. I think there's a couple of bowls for Dan the Smoking Man too. So please be with me. I have to wait till the guy comes back. He isn't based here all the time. Oh, and also if watching Grandpa Cavendish, I also have for you. So that's how far behind I am. But it wouldn't have made any difference to him because the guy has been also away in Scandinavia and Latvia and Lithuania. So that's where I left off. I'm so glad I didn't post the original video because it was more damning than it should have been. And in fact, it was a wonderful tobacco, Giants. I'd recommend it to any Balkan smoker if they can get hold of the Blatter and Blatter Reserve Balkan. In fact, Giles mentioned to me that I think he made it preempted that it might have been a bit sweet for me because he told me that he's getting another blend that is less black Cavendish, or maybe even replace all the black unsweetened Cavendish with more Oriental, which sounds just great to me. So, I'm going to light a pipe here before I start talking about the trip to England and the Knights of the Briar. Bear with me. Smoking the Shillelagh white mouthpiece. It's the Chrome and Chrome Shillelagh. I think it looks quite smart. Using smoking from a hobo pipes from Australia. Bowl, handmade. Nice bit of flame green and plateau top. Smoking. Horse and Home, Black Horse. I'll tell you a story about that. I collected it in England. But starting to really enjoy it now too. Don't think you made it either, eh? Yeah. So, I arrived on the Friday into England, having travelled all night, the day before the meeting of the Knights Briar, to enable myself to get a little bit of a reconnaissance in the area. I spent the day in town, not knowing it was Black Friday. So I walked into that a usual busy Chester into an extremely busy Chester, and a very wet Chester. But had an enjoyable enough day. Went around the old walls, saw the old cathedral, went into a pre-visit to Alfie Termes's to get my bearings. Did a couple of nice pubs on the way, trying to see who had got places to smoke inside or not, or outside gardens with umbrellas or whatever they had, to prepare for the next day. So anyway, I had an enjoyable day. Had several bowls. Might take a second, right? Maybe too much smoke for you, Wilma, huh? Go around the corner. Well, you don't have to sit here. You know where to go. Yeah, you do. So, next day. Sorry about that. That's my life at the moment. I get a phone call, I'm called away. And here we are, I don't know, 5 hours later. Maybe more, 6 hours. Number one, God, England is a cold country and wet and miserable when it is wet and windy. I actually left Tallinn 10 degrees cooler, but it felt balmy compared to England. I got soaked on the Friday I arrived early the day before, and had a day to myself in Chester on, I think they call it the Black Friday. It was busy, so it wasn't probably the best day to win the time, but saw all the sights, did several pubs around the place to see what they're like, and had a good skinful of drink anyway, and had a good day walking around the sights of Chester, a few smokes. Next day morning, I went down to the train station since I knew my bearings now, and met Dan. So, second thing I learned was Smoky Dan is a taller man than I thought. I don't know, I had this impression of Dan being maybe it was the Welsh Italian blood in him. I thought he was going to be smaller, but fine young strapping man he was, the Italian stallion. So good man he was. He'd brought me the tobacco that I had jointly bought some with him, where we can get our American tobaccos through an English outlet. Dan had a little bit of issues in getting it sorted, but at the end of the day we got what we wanted, and everyone was happy enough. So I picked up my Blue Mountain, my Black House, Quiet Nights, Three Oaks McLennans with Wilderness, and Yeneege Highlander from McLennan as well. Also from GLP's, Abington and Odyssey. So it was nice collecting about 1.2, 1.3 kilograms of tobacco. I took a bit of a risk to see if I could carry it all back into Estonia. I'm allowed 1 kilogram. All was fine, no problem. So with my winter collection, that all goes with the HU tobacco range. I got more tins of the Tigray, the Zulu, and the Fayum Cake, which is better than the ribbon cut. I have my Rat Race Black Mallories, my Sam Gareth Balkans, my Peterson Irish Plague, and yeah, the usual Artisan's blend from Ashton's and the HH Syrian Vintage. So all was great. Anyway, and the ended up on having a good smoke back at the hotel close to where we knew Kevin Kerrigan's Rex was coming. He was coming in later. So Dan got breakfast and we got stuck into some whiskey and pints of Guinness and a couple of nice bowls. So my next experience thing I learned was Dan pulled out a tin of Penzance. And this is the most frustrating tobacco I know. It's a tobacco I love to hate. It was the one which I always say is outrageous because it's always overly priced and never available, and maybe as a consequence of the non-availability they engineer the pricing. I'm not too sure, and I've always been, as much as I did like it, was look for an alternative, which I always thought I had in the likes of the Quiet Nights and a few others. So basically it was you got a tin of Penzance, Dan, you know, and generous man that he is, I filled a nice big bowl of Penzance and see if I could pick out the biggest bowl I had. No, I didn't, Dan. It was gorgeous. God, I missed it. All that frustration and going off on a tangent and trying to get other tobaccos to replace it. Nonsense. When you like a tobacco, stay with it. Bugger the price. I was just, I don't know what's the right word was. I was just taken aback. It just was lovely. Not much more I could say on it. I don't know how much age Dan had on it. It wasn't exactly a new tin, but it was just excellent. And so Penzance is back on my list as a must in my collection. Some things you just can't replace, and that Penzance is just a lovely tobacco. going to try and get this lit a bit. So, what next? We tried calling Kevin on the phone, thinking we'd have to check if he's on his way or not. And we learned that Kevin obviously is not ambidextrous. 2 hands on the wheel, Kevin. Got to be safe on the road. And rightly so too. Be safe. Not use those mobiles. So eventually we got a call from Kevin. Bang on time. Kevin arrived after his long journey from way down in Cornwall. He is. I think he is. And had a long drive, 5 or 6 hours I think. So he arrived bang on time, and nothing less we should expect it from Kevin. Julie arrived, pressed a button, delighted to sit down, baptised the moment with another nice Jameson 12-year-old, and filled her bowls and had straight into the chat. And it was a grand chat, it was too. We were totally at ease with each other, as if we knew each other, which is another thing I've learned. You know, the YouTube may be the introducer and the maintainer of our relations, but actually on meeting somebody in the pipe meets, that's the reinforcement of the associations you have with the people on YouTube. It just makes that much easier. Yes, we've met in YouTube, but the reinforcing when you meet somebody and you learn the generosity of the community. Also, we never met each other, but we all sort of like half helped each other, you know, won competitions from each other, and shared tobaccos. We arrived with tobaccos to share, and the crack was great. So we spent an hour there until I started to shake with the cold, visibly. I know it was because I got soaked the day before and got a bit of a chill, but I'd probably been up most of the morning sitting outside, but it was cold. I think it's the dampness you forget about compared to the pure cold, if you want to use that word, you get in the Baltics. So, had to get on the move, headed into town to meet Paul, the 4th member. Paul's not on the YouTube, but he is active on Instagram, and we have to get him involved in the YouTube, hopefully. So we went straight to bypass a couple of the pubs that I had recognised the day before, thinking that would be a waste of time, and get straight to Alfie Termez's shop, because they were going to be closed at 5 o'clock. Got there for, I don't know, I had no idea what time it was. 1 o'clock could have been. And next thing I learned, again, more generosity from Dan. He bought a round of cigars. My first experience on cigars, and yeah, I think I've learned probably this old dog is too old to learn new tricks. I was completely out of my depth when they were talking about cigars. Not a clue. I was presented a Cuban. We were in the Cuban smoking room, so whether that was the reason why I'm smoking the Cuban, or that was, we knew that the owner or the manager, that was going to be, he would promote the Cubans. Dan said that as much himself before we met. And I can't even remember what I was given, Dan. That's how pathetic it is. Lit it up, or sorry, I didn't light it up. I didn't even learn that much. I missed all that. Seemingly it was done behind me, so I have no idea what was done with the cigar. It arrived lit for me, and all I had to do is sit back and enjoy it and smoke it, which I did. It was fine. Absolutely smoked halfway through it to probably 2/3 smoked, when I started getting a craving for some nice pipe tobacco. I had enough. I enjoyed it up to that point. I don't know if I put it this way, I didn't leave the place buying a cigar to take home, which is probably my fault. I should have done, but I didn't. We had a couple of nice, I think I was drinking the darkest, I'm not using the word black rum, which I asked for, but I got the darkest rum they had, which was a pale rum, or a spice rum, which was very nice, went very well with the cigar. Enjoyed it immensely. We headed off to then into the whiskey lounge to have some nice tobacco. And yeah, we sat there for 2-3 hours, I can't remember how long. Had lots of different tobaccos. I actually tried then some tobaccos was gifted over from America, from Woody and from Ethan Leavitt. On the Woody one, this is nothing nothing bad, Woody, towards the tobacco, but I'm not a vapor man. I'm not a Virginia man either, really. On the straight Virginias, I tried Woody's vape. I read a lot about it. I wasn't too sure whether I was going to like it, but I thought I had a Dan presented. I thought I'd try it. Looked fine. Seemed to be the right moisture. Lit well. So for all those points, congratulations. It was fine. But it's not me. I just smoked about half a bowl and I had enough. I just not into the preak. Or over preaked tobaccos. Don't mind a little bit as a condiment and maybe in some Balkans. So thank you very much, Woody, and I'm sure it'll be a huge success for you. Need to blend something else for me. Actually, Dan did present a second Woody tobacco, Woody's Treat. Sorry, Woody. It was infused with some liquor. I think it's Sambuca. No. Not me. I hate aromatics. I like tobacco. I like English Balkan tobacco. I don't like sweetness, and I find it a bit sweet. I find it licoricey, and just took away from the tobacco as far as I was concerned. And again, it was presented well, looked well, smelled what it was. If I was reviewing the tobacco as advertised, great. If I were reviewing it personally, not for me, really. So that was two. I then tried Ethan Leavitt's tobacco. I don't know what it was, Ethan. I don't know whether it's travelled a long way in the plastic bag or how long Dan had got it, but it was flat. Completely flat. I couldn't get anything out of it. It might have been, now in fairness, I'd smoked a cigar, I'd been smoking Penzance, smoked several other tobaccos, had drinking rum, whiskey and Guinness. So maybe I'd lost the taste of it, but it did not shine. I might have to go back to it and have another go at it again. So once again, thank you so much for thinking of us, supporting us. I'm sure it's a wonderful tobacco for others. My honest review was I thought it was flat. Maybe it needed rehydrating. And on that subject, that actually was the same. We opened up the Black House. I think I had 6 tins. I had 5, down at 1. I opened mine, he'd opened his the day before. Absolutely bone dry. It was crispy dry, the tobacco, which was very worrying. I had actually ordered a bulk 225 gram, I got 5 tins instead. It looked to me that it was being near enough too dry and repacked. I can't say why, but Dan's was the same. Lit it, really disappointed. It was, Dan used the expression washed out. To me, it was the way it was evaporated out, dried out. Again, totally flat. Couldn't get the usual that I tried before, and it did remind me of the Gallagher's old Sabrini in its day. But this, I could get nothing of the old Sabrini genre shining through. So that was really worrying and disappointing. But I'll tell you now, I'm smoking it now. Of course, I'm not smoking. I'm chatting to you. I've rehydrated for about a week, and it's fine. It's coming through, and it's probably just not as wonderful as I thought it was. Unlike the Penzance, which I hadn't smoked for a while and I'd been running it down because of price and availability, and it just shone so beautifully. The Black House, even now, is good tobacco, but I'm not getting the sensation I remember the first time I smoked it. nearly finished that actually. Need to refill it. I might have another bowl of something. I'm going to fill another pipe. Just bear with me. So, all that talk of Penzance, I said I'd have a bowl of the old quiet nights. Which, it's fine. It's not bad at all. It just isn't the same, but not bad. Nice full English. Change the pipe into the bent special white mouthpiece, black with the chrome draw stem, and another hobo pipe bowl. Smaller little bowl, nice wide one. First lid here. Get a bit more. And now we're going. So, what else did we learn? Well, it was the first time for most of the guys there, apart from myself probably, actually sharing their pipes, whether in public or in private, with other pipe smokers, which I find amazing. I think the benefit was clear around the room, talking to each other and enjoying the experience of each other and each other's experiences. And we also learned that it doesn't matter how long you've been smoking. Paul was a bit worried as a novice smoker. Nothing to be worried about. Get on YouTube, Paul, and you have everything to contribute to YouTube. Your generosity, your thoughts on tobacco. It's actually wonderful and refreshing for me. It's why I followed Dan at the start when he started, to keep hearing his views and the way he was dabbling in all types of tobacco. It was wonderful. And to listen to Paul too is only a benefit for everybody else. There's no point in talking to the likes of me, been smoking for years and years and years, and I'm very set in my ways. It's wonderful to hear other people's views. You're willing to pick up that pipe and smoke what you like. That's all it takes. Give your opinion. That's all that matters. That's all that matters. It mattered to us to hear it and share it, but his opinion was as valid as mine, who's been smoking for 33 years, or Kevin, or Dan. So it was a nice mix of very experienced smokers to the novice smoker around the table. The conversation was totally at ease. We had some nice pairings with some rum and whiskies and coffees and whatever. And the chat was grand and the crack was great. So the last thing I probably would say that I've learned from the experience, apart from the generosity and the wonderful companionship and fellowship of the meeting, was the Knights of the Briar ideal of we are all equal, we are all knights, there's no kings, lords, dukes above us, likewise there's no squire or knaves below us. Maybe a bit of knavery helps. We're all equal, and it's not a membership. Anybody is welcome to come and enjoy a pipe meet with us. And it's not unique, no, but it may be unique for people who cannot experience that. All I am saying, it is a recipe that cannot fail, as proven on the day. It was a wonderful day out, and really looking forward to the next one. Please go to the next one. Was meant to be in Tallinn around March time. I think Dan said he's having a mini one. I don't know what he means by a mini one. If you're having a meeting, you're having a meeting. When he goes to California, I think there's some of our American friends are going to meet Dan and have a night off the Briar meeting with them. And rightly so. It doesn't matter where we are, where 2 or 3 meet in the name of the Briar, then you're a knight. So with that, I'm not going to say much more. It was apart from the day was just wonderful. Meeting Kevin, Dan, Paul, was just magnificent. And totally advise anybody who has the opportunity or to do the same in their area, do it. We can only help ourselves if we get out and smoke in public ourselves and meet up ourselves. Get out of the trench, the garden shed, the bunker. The YouTube is great, absolutely. It's the introducer and maintainer. But reinforce that experience and go and meet fellow pipers. Anyway, that's all I'm going to say. I'm incredibly busy at the minute and been called away again. I heard my phone going since I've been talking. Try to get this video out a couple of times. So I'm definitely going to cut off short now. It's not that short. Sorry if I missed anybody out. There's loads of people I need to say thank you to, trying to keep in contact with me when I was unavailable. There was Eric Harpers, there was Grandpa Cavendish, Giles, Dan and Kevin, who constantly kept in contact. And anybody else that I missed, I'm very sorry. I see my subscriptions has sneaked up a few more even when I've not been involved. Thank you to everybody, and to the Knights of the Briar and to the YTPC, keep on smoking.